Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, surrounded by whispering woods and fields of sunflowers, lived a small girl named Laila. Laila was 6 years old, had curly brown hair, and loved to collect shiny pebbles and pretty leaves. But most of all, Laila loved fairy tales. Every night, she would ask her grandma to read her stories about magical lands, brave fairies, and glittering castles in the sky. I wish I could meet a real fairy princess, Laila would sigh, hugging her stuffed bunny. One sunny afternoon, Leela was playing near the edge of the forest when she saw something sparkle in the air. It wasn't a bird, it wasn't a butterfly, it was a tiny girl with wings. Leela gasped. "A fairy," she whispered. The tiny girl flew closer, her wings shimmering like a rainbow. She wore a crown of tiny flowers and a dress made of rose petals. "Hello," she said in a voice like wind chimes. "I'm Princess Zinnia, fairy princess of the glimmering glade, and you must be Laila." Lila's eyes widened. "You know my name?" Princess Zinnia giggled. "Of course. We fairies watch over kind children. You have a big heart, Laila. And today, I need your help." "Me?" Laila looked around. "But I'm just a little girl." Princess Zinnia twirled in the air. "Even little girls can do big things. Come, I'll show you." She sprinkled some sparkling dust from her pouch. "Hold my hand." As soon as Laila touched Zinnia's hand, whoosh, the world spun like a top, and suddenly they were standing in a glowing forest. The trees were tall and purple, the sky was a soft pink, and the flowers sang tiny songs. "Welcome to the glimmering glade," said Zinnia. Laila looked around in amazement. "It's beautiful." But Zinnia looked worried. It was beautiful, but now our magic tree, the heart blossom, is wilting. Without it, the fairy world will lose its sparkle. "Oh no, why is it sick?" Laila asked. "It needs the laughing light," said Zinnia. "It's a magical light that comes from true giggles and happy hearts. But lately we haven't had enough laughter." Laila thought for a moment. "I can help. I love to laugh. I can tell jokes, make silly faces, even dance like a chicken." Zinnia brightened. "That might work. Let's gather the laughing light." So off they went, fluttering through the glade. Laila told a joke to a grumpy mushroom who hadn't laughed in 100 years. He giggled so hard, he popped out a cloud of glowing bubbles. Then she made silly faces at a group of ladybug musicians, and they laughed until their spots switched places. Next, she danced a wiggly dance in front of the Fairy Queen's mirror, and even the mirror chuckled and clapped. Each time someone laughed, a little golden light floated into Zinnia's pouch. Soon, it was glowing bright with joy. "You're amazing, Laila," Zinnia said. "Now let's save the heart blossom." They flew to the center of the glimmering glade. There stood a tall tree with silver leaves and a glowing pink heart at the top. But the heart was flickering like a candle in the wind. "Quick, pour in the laughing light." Zinnia opened the pouch, and the golden giggles swirled into the heart of the tree. Slowly, the light grew stronger. The heart pulsed once, twice, then burst into a dazzling rainbow beam. All around, the glade lit up. Flowers bloomed, butterflies danced, and music filled the air. "We did it!" cried Zinnia. Laila spun in a happy circle. "We did it!" Zinnia gave her a tiny crown made of silver stars. "You are now an honorary fairy friend, Laila. You saved our magic with your laughter and kindness." Laila smiled so wide, her cheeks hurt. "Can I visit again?" "Anytime you laugh, we feel it in the glade," said Zinnia. "And who knows, maybe I'll visit you next time." She sprinkled more fairy dust, and whoosh! Laila was back in her backyard, the sun starting to set. Was it a dream? She opened her hand, and there, resting in her palm, was a tiny star crown. She ran to her grandma, smiling from ear to ear. "Grandma, you'll never believe what happened." And from that day on, whenever Laila laughed, somewhere in the magical glade, the heart blossom glowed a little brighter.
Thanks for watching. If you like the video, like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel, MoonPop Stories.